I'm Lulu Erkeneff. I'm originally from Dana Point, but I live in Los Angeles. I surf Malibu all the time, and I'm very lucky to have good waves around me and lots of fun people to surf with. I barely remember learning how to surf. My dad is a really good surfer, and he grew up in Dana Point as well. So the one thing I do remember is getting on a skateboard when I was really little, and he was like, okay, you put your right foot in front of your left foot, because he's also a goofy foot. So it's really fun to have that connection with him. And then, you know, ever since I can remember, I'd be really little and he'd be doing dawn patrol at like 5 a.m. and I'd be like, Dad, I want to go with you, I want to go with you. And he'd be like, not today, not today. But we'd have plenty of time out at this wave called Salt Creek, and he'd push me into waves. And then eventually it got to the point where I, you know, could catch waves on my own. And he rides tons of different boards. So something that I had always wanted to do, and I guess I learned it from him, is being able to ride any type of board, and that there's always something to learn about riding different types of boards, whether it be shortboard, fish, longboard, and that there's fun to be had by challenging yourself. So I love that Mexi Log, you have a lot of that centered around longboarding and different crafts, you know, all celebrating like traditional longboarding. But a lot of the surfers here also love riding different types of crafts, and it's really fun to connect, especially in the free surfs, with those people and celebrate that as well. I think classic longboarding, especially given that I ride a lot of shortboards and longboards, classic longboarding is all about being smooth, and you're still technical with things like footwork. You know, where I think for me, I've learned a lot between the two boards. And so when I take shortboarding and bring it into longboarding, things like footwork are really important. For things like trimming and gaining speed, you're doing a little less of the work with your body and more on where you're positioning yourself on the board. And I find that to probably be the most important element of longboarding, is finding times to trim, finding times to nose ride. I don't remember who had told this to me, but you know, nose riding is a gift. And I do ride a more traditional board compared to some of the ones that people ride. Right now I'm riding like a 60s spoon. So no concave, really flat. It's a really fast board, maybe not perfect for Pinos. But I had a lot of fun, you know, embracing a 60s style board this year and trying to, you know, hone in on things like trim and slowing the board down and trying to gain that technique. I think what makes the Mexi Log the most special is like meeting new people from all around the world that you probably wouldn't have met, or maybe it would have taken longer to meet. And not only do we get to spend this time together in the water, but there's so many events that help facilitate that connection. You know, like where you really get to know people on a deep level and spend that time together. We're basically spending, you know, a week together the whole entire time. And so it does facilitate like deep friendships. I love Mazatlan. So I came last year as well. And I think having a little bit of the familiarity is very nice. I love having the familiarity of visiting a place for a second time, knowing, you know, oh, I love that restaurant, I'm so excited to go back. I've been to 5 Mexi Logs now, so not a ton, but not very many. It's in 4 different places. I love Mazatlan because there's a little more to do. You're experiencing more. I love being in the city. Maybe a parallel to like me moving to Los Angeles in the last couple of years and wanting more of that like city type of lifestyle.
Is there a message you would like to put out there for the viewers?
I think just go have fun. Like there's so much pressure on doing well, and sometimes like attaching your worth to like your success, and it's all just about having fun. Yeah.